was interesting to see John Higgins take a long, loving look at that magnificent Paul Hunter trophy as he walked into the arena, as the guys have already discussed. Something of a love-hate relationship with this great tournament, but a multiple winner of it nonetheless, a measure of how good he is. The break-off wasn't great, but how he would love Joe to make it a hat-trick of Masters titles come Sunday night. Yeah, well, he's got the ability, hasn't he? He's got the pedigree. He's got it all. And surely a favourite in most tournaments that he plays in. But this player, he's not scared of anybody. He has beaten John a couple of times. He played 6 times and he's beaten him a couple of times. One was a cracking match in the UK Championship, 6-5. And that was 3 years ago. And John Higgins has beaten Anthony twice this year. He's never been a respecter of reputations, McGill. Beat Mark Selby, who was then defending world champion on his Crucible debut back in 2015. Made the quarterfinals. And then, of course, beat Shaun Murphy the following year. Yeah, just trying to stun behind the black. Didn't get enough stun into the cue ball. Black is still available to the middle. Very risky to play it. So just the safety. And Higgins will be pleased. It only cost him 6 points, that poor break-off.
Anthony McGill, 6. Thank you.
Little conversation there, not quite sure what it entails. Of course, they are very good friends away from the heat of battle, and it's still going on.
Well, it's not often you see that, is it? But what a nice thing to see. Shame we couldn't hear them.
Maybe it was brinksmanship. They're trying to soften each other up. Wouldn't have seen Messrs Davis and Hendry doing that back in the day, would you, Joe?
I do remember Cliff Wilson doing it quite a lot. I played him in the World Championship once and he never stopped talking. Told me so many jokes as well.
Big occasion for McGill, not just because he's playing his good friend and one of the greats, John Higgins, but making his debut here at this tournament, of course. tasting the atmosphere in the Ali Pali for the first time. And when he told Neil Foulds that he was actually pleased to have drawn John Higgins, I think he meant it. He wants to see where his game is at, and there aren't many better barometers of where you're at as a player than John Higgins.
Yes, I'm sure that Anthony McGill would like to play a good safety game this evening. Try and wear John Higgins down, although he's a master at the safety play, Mr. Higgins. If it's an open game, then I'd go for Higgins every time. 698 century breaks to his name. 26 this season. There's not many better. In fact, there's only two. And another good length on the safety. Perfectly played. Yeah, a little danger here. Just a little nod of the head there. If he catches this red a little too thick, he could push a red over the right corner. In fact, one could go at the left corner. Gets the bad kiss. Got it thin.
Foul. John Higgins, full.
Now, does the red pass the black? Well, there's confirmation. It will go, but can he see enough of it? He's got the cue ball as close to the blue as he possibly can to try and see enough of this red to pot it. Well, that was a superb shot. There wasn't a lot of room there for the red to pass the black. But what a good shot. Choice of yellow or black. Yeah, he's taking the black because it's stopping reds going into that pocket. Played for the red into the left middle. Would have liked to have been straighter on it so he could get back to the pink.
8.
May have to go up for the yellow or brown. Well, he could get back to the black. Another very good positional shot.
Colin mentioned that the Wizard has been ever present here at the Masters, as we see a replay of that nicely struck red. Since 1995, won his first title here 3 years later. Great final against Ken Doherty, which he edged 10-8. And then an even better one in 2006. One of the all-time great clearances he conjured in the final frame against Ronnie O'Sullivan from 60 behind.
15.
O'Sullivan said earlier this season that was perhaps his most painful loss, because he looked a dead cert to win the decider before Higgins created that magic
16.
to steal the title from him.
22.
Now, if there's not a plant there, I'll be thinking about going into the reds at some stage. Can't do it this time round. Well, he attempted it, but it didn't look like he had a good angle. He was behind the shot, so no.
30.
Well, he's looking at the possibility of a plant, but at the same time, getting that cue ball down the table. Wasn't far away.
John Higgins,
And that
30.
kiss on the yellow has left McGill with a half chance. And that's a good pot. Just rolled it in full length of the table, as coolly as you please. Great shot.
Seven. Eight.
Well, Anthony there just left himself the wrong side of the pink. He's having a look to see if that lower red will go to this right corner pocket. Had it been the other side of the pink, he could have played the cannon. Could have done without the kiss, unless there's the plant there now.
14.
Well, it's makeable. Cue ball would be going towards the black. So beyond the black. The problem is, if he misses it, he's leaving reds on to the left middle. So this has to go in. Nicely played, but he's lost the cue ball. Put everything into the pot. Now a decision to make. Does he take the black onto the middle? Now very tight, these middle pockets.
15.
And he's left a red on to the right middle. It was made more difficult because they had to stun the cue ball to hold for this red to the middle. Had he just rolled the cue ball, the black into the middle, the cue ball would have been close to the cushion. So another chance here for Higgins.
One.
No, he just may play cannon to the red nearest the middle pocket. Trying to push it over the middle, but it didn't quite bounce enough. A fraction harder.
7.
Yes, that's quite safe there. So, a shot to nothing here. He could play the cue ball onto the baulk cushion. It'd be on the yellow if it goes in. Safe if it doesn't.
John Higgins, 7.
This match, of course, completes the quarter-final lineup. Quarter-finals underway tomorrow. Ryan Day awaiting the winner, fresh from his victory over Ding Junhui. These players in the top half of the draw, where Messrs O'Sullivan and Allen reside. They're in action first up tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, just trying to push that red towards the cushion to give himself some insurance in case McGill gets a chance. Well, those shots are always on. He had safety in mind, but he also knew that this red was going close to this right corner pocket. But even if he can pop the yellow, difficult to get to the next red. Could play the snooker, just touch the green. That would develop the green and blue.
Anthony McGill, 1.
Well, he's got to get the speed right here, because if he misses the red, he doesn't want to bring it off the cushion and leave the red on down the cushion. Delighted with that. Don't think this red must go, otherwise Higgins would have played it earlier. Every chance of the snooker here. And it seemed to get a big bounce off the baulk cushion, which helped it along.
Yeah, sure.
Well, he's attempting to land up to the red by the middle pocket. The red that's out in the open won't go past the other reds into the left corner. So again, it's all about speed, this. Something like that, but doesn't want to hit it too hard and push the red on.
Foul and a miss. Anthony McGill, 4.
Well, maybe he attempted to hit that red, although there is more danger playing on that red. Well, it does go.
Always difficult, isn't it, to judge the correct angle when the cue ball and object ball are as close together as they were there. Yeah, because he caught it just a little bit too thick. Very nearly pushed the red onto this right corner, but he's managed to hide it. A little fortunate. And now Higgins with the problem. Just a containing safety shot. The red doesn't go to the left middle, the one along the black cushion. Too difficult. He was forced into taking that red on. Couldn't see a safety shot. And what a pot it was. It's given him a good chance to get back into this game. Just one safe red. He opened the green and blue up earlier.
8. 9.
Could do with leaving a half ball angle on the black to be able to play the cannon
16.
to the red. He might just have come a little bit too far with the cue ball. We have to play on the pink. And that looks just about right to be able to get the cannon. I've seen these stay out before today. Hit the cushion a couple of inches before the pocket. So, all on this shot, you would think. So close. He just wanted to catch it thin. Push it over that middle.
23.
A whisker. Using the angles of the middle pocket to try and get the cue ball back into the baulk area. But he's left a chance at this red.
And you feel as though this opening frame is more important to Anthony McGill than it is to John Higgins, who of course is vastly experienced when it comes to the Masters. McGill, a debutant. He's had a couple of hammerings from the Wizard recently.
Oh, what a shot again from Higgins. It could have been kinder, the kit. The black is missable. Very nearly hit it too hard. He was complaining of a big bounce off the side cushion. But he can still pot the yellow. So, green, brown and blue needed. Could have been better. Wasn't clean, but it went in, and just the blue needed. This has been a hard-fought frame. Nearly 30 minutes. But it looks like it's Higgins who's going to win it.
Gill had the chance, couldn't quite release the final red from the right side cushion. And John Higgins mops up the colours to the pink. A hard-fought frame indeed, but it's gone the way of the favourite and 2 times Masters champion. The Wizard makes season. And of course, he has huge respect for his good friend. Keen to test his game tonight against one of the very best. Really could have done with winning that opener, though. You feel as though the tight frames have to go his way tonight, Joe.
Yeah, well, he was so close, wasn't he? He got so close to the cannon, that last red. And just a little flick, and the game would have been his. And that's how close it is in some of the matches. Break-off shot, leaving Higgins snookered. They won't be happy with that, especially if the red passes the black. But I'm not quite sure what he played there, John. I would have thought that he played to hit that red, and it does go just. He doesn't think so. It looks like it goes on TV, but he's right behind the shot. Yeah, it is again. I mean, on TV it looks as though it goes, but when you stood right behind the shot, you can see more clearly.
And if you don't fancy it, don't take the risk.
Exactly. Judged to perfection.
Thanks, John.
He didn't commit to playing for the black, taking that long red on. Had he done so and missed it, he would have been leaving reds on. And may still have done.
One.
Yeah, great shot. Have to be so accurate with those type of shots to the middle. And that's opened things up very nicely.
8.
Nobody likes to play 30-minute frames or longer. Like to get on with things, but sometimes there's just no option. But the ball's situated nicely for a big break. Another packed house here this evening. Great atmosphere.
And the standard of snooker right from the first shot really has been outstanding, hasn't it? We'll be reaching the midway point at close of play this evening. Every match has had something to recommend about it, whether it be the sheer excellence of O'Sullivan against Fu, a nail-biting opener between Selby and Williams, great comeback from Carter this afternoon in a losing cause against Murphy. Wilson last night against Hawkins. Wherever you look, Joe, the standard has been top draw.
Absolutely. Brilliant stuff. And I think the century breaks will be beaten this year. I think the
20.
Tournament record is somewhere around about the 30 mark, 31.
31 in 2009.
I think it's going to be beaten this year. The players are just thinking that we've got to get in and win. There's no room for safety play in these tournaments with the creme of the players.
Yeah, Higgins was worried about that
21.
one. I think he might have been distracted as well by perhaps some movement in the crowd, but he wasn't sure if that was going to drop.
He certainly looked at the crowd, didn't he? Wasn't you, was it, Philip?
Well, you'd have to have X-ray vision to see me. I know he's good, but he's not that
28.
good.
$29.
Still got another couple of loose reds he can play for. But he may leave an angle on the black this time
35.
to disturb the reds.
$36.
And there's the angle. I could play for the reds into the middles. But that was a good chance to open the reds up, and it's worked out. Okay, he's got a red to the left corner.
43.
When he removes that red, it releases another one to the right corner. He's also got that red over the middle pocket. So things looking good for Higgins.
44.
Terrific initial red, wasn't it? At pace to get position on the black into the left centre pocket. Set up this opportunity to double his lead.
$51. 52.
Just the two semi-final appearances from Higgins since he last won the title, which is now 12 years ago. So he'll feel as though an extended run is overdue.
59.
Doesn't get any better than that.
60.
100% pot success. Hasn't gone for many long shots, but what he has gone for, he's got. So red and a colour.
65.
Hampton McGill needed snookers. And this is more
66.
like the Higgins we know. One chance, frame over. If this black goes in.
$73.
Anthony McGill went for that long red into the right corner, but lost the cue ball.
74.
Left a very difficult red into the middle, which Higgins screwed into the middle. Great shot.
Yes, and you flagged up Higgins' superior firepower at the outset,
81.
which is why that opening frame, which was in the balance, could have gone Anthony McGill's way, felt
82.
very significant, even though it was the first frame of the match. This is what Higgins can do when he's given the opportunity.
I tried to nudge that red off the cushion by the
89.
middle pocket and stay on the red by the pink. Looking to make that century break. First one of this last 16 match.
John Higgins.
Well, no century, but 89 is more than enough to account for frame two. It was a brilliant opening red from Higgins to launch that frame-winning contribution to double his lead. He's in charge early in the piece, leading by two.
He's got a great future, I really do.
John Higgins.
I know that McManus thinks he's got a great future, and I'm in his corner there. But he has to improve with his break building.
A few better to be able to learn from than his good mate Higgins. He's just a couple away from 700 for his career. Looked as though he might make one just now before breaking down on 89. But with Higgins, of course, it's the full package, the scoring to go with arguably the best tactical brain in the game.
Wouldn't disagree with that. Possibly my all-round best player. Higgins has made 8 maximum breaks. O'Sullivan 13. So not quite in the O'Sullivan class as far as break building's concerned. But all-round ability, and that safety knowledge, and the patience as well. He's got great patience, John Higgins. And that's another thing that impresses me so much with him. He can wait and wait. Patience of Job. Just underhit that one slightly, but he should be able to come down for the black. Sometimes difficult to hold the cue ball, and especially with that red there. Doesn't want to bounce too hard, otherwise he'll get the cover.
4.
And he's okay, just. But again, I think he thinks he got a big bounce there, and it looked to me as though it came off the cushion. Springy. So I can't just check in to see if the pink spot's available. If not, then at the back of the reds, in a straight line, as near to its spot as it can. And it could make a difference, this, because the red, just to the left of the pink, is close to going into that right corner pocket, so he has to get it as close as he possibly can.
Thank you. 7.
Now he may decide to leave an angle on the black here, going to the reds with the insurance of that red just above the black.
11.
Left it a little straight.
$18. $9.
This time he has left the angle, Could play for the red to the left middle, but this is a good angle to open the reds up. Now this red passes the pink, and that's a bonus. And that's how important it was to get that pink close to the back of reds, because this red now goes.
27.
He still only missed one ball, John Higgins, this evening, and that was an irrelevance because it happened when he was on 89 in the previous frame.
Yeah, he didn't leave a good angle there from such an easy red previously. He was fairly
34.
straight on the black. So let's end the break.
John Higgins, 34.
And a good pace on the cue ball.
Typical Higgins, really. He'll be frustrated. He didn't make more than 34, but he makes doubly sure that cue ball is glued to the baulk cushion.
Foul and a miss. John Higgins, 4. Yeah, sure.
Well, I'm sure he'll only be trying the shot one more time. Got to get it right this time, otherwise he'll be warned.
Yeah, John, thanks.
Caught the knuckle, which was what undid him at the first attempt. It's better.
Higgins pushing another red to that left side cushion with that safety shot. Always thinking, always trying to make things as awkward as he can for his opponent in case he gets a chance. In the first frame he got that red on the right side cushion by the middle pocket. He finished up winning him the frame, that. McGill failed to get the cannon to that red. So thin off the reds and try and land up dead behind the yellow. Yeah, he's looking to see what's going to happen to that third red if he comes off the reds thin. Doesn't want to push it towards that left corner. So sometimes that can alter where the cue ball goes. He may have to take this thinner or thicker. Yep, different shot completely, because he didn't want to develop one of the reds for Anthony McGill. caught that one nice. Tap on the table from Higgins. Could so easily have sent a red over the right corner pocket there. It's easy enough to play off the reds, but looking to see what's going to happen to the reds if he does play that shot. And he doesn't fancy it, so he's playing this, just landing up to the red. Well, has he left a red to the right corner? Just above the pink spot.
If he has, it's not very pleasant, particularly when you're 2-0, 38 points adrift.
I don't think it must go, because he would have played it by now. It's a shot to nothing. Well, it did go. So I'm surprised that Higgins rolled up to the red. He's having a real good smile to himself there, the assassin. Look at this, it only just went. And that's a good roller.
Anthony McGill one.
To the yellow, that was difficult from dead under the cushion.
Foul in the miss. Anthony McGill. Yeah. Top.
Wasn't too bothered about the 4 points he gave away. Hasn't left a red on. Although he has left an easy safety shot. Well, again, it seemed to spring off the cushion there, the cue ball.
Thank you.
Not sure if it's a snooker. If it is, then looking to come off that right side cushion and land up to the red closest to the right corner pocket. But again, he's got to get the speed right, or is he playing the two-cushion escape? Two-cushion escape. Very close.
Foul and a miss. Anthony McGill 4. Yep, top.
And just caught them this time. Players are so good at this shot. Just coming off the two cushions, clipping the red thin, getting that cue ball back in balk area safe. The red that's to the right of the black. It's a good red to play safe from. Well, that's another good safety. Although this time he may be able to see the red by the pink spot. But he's sending it towards that left corner pocket, so I've got to be careful. Caught it all wrong, too thin, and now a great chance for McGill to get right back into this frame. There's a couple of safe reds there. And this one isn't a gimme.
And he's now lost 11 of his last 12 frames against Higgins, so needs to stop the rot sooner rather than later.
One.
Well, he could have played that one better. Had a bit too much right-hand side on the cue ball. Wanted to be straighter on this red to the left corner.
Top. 8.
Just the right amount of side on the cue ball to leave himself on choice of reds.
60. 22. $23.
Well, this is dangerous, the way he's playing this shot. He's very close to that red. But executed it nicely.
30. $31.
Just travelled too far for the blue. Yellow, he needs a little bit more work to get to the next red, especially if it's straight on the yellow. Had to leave himself the red to the corner, wouldn't go past the blue into the middle.
33.
So needs a good shot now to keep the break going. Well, I thought it was in.
Anthony McGill, 33.
But because it got so close, it stayed close to the pocket, the red. And Higgins may take the opportunity here to try and bring those two reds into play. He'd have to play it with a touch of right-hand side. Oh, he's gone through them. Now, where's it going to finish?
1.
Where's it going to finish? Well, look at that. Look at that. He's nicely on the pink, and he may be able to leave an angle on the next red. As we'll look at this attempted cannon again.
Yeah, unlucky not the cannon, but great result in the end.
Yeah, now he needs to leave an angle on the black
7.
or pink to be able to get to those two reds. Those two safe-ish reds.
8.
A couple of ways he can play this. He can play to bring the red off the cushion, leave the cue ball there, or drop in behind him. Play to bring the red off the cushion. And misjudged it.
15.
So another tight frame, much like the first one, which Higgins eventually won by clearing to the pink.
John Higgins, 15.
So Higgins with an 11-point lead. And one safe red on the cushion. So another half chance here. Very close. Now he needs the yellow to come to his rescue. I think it has. Very fortunate. Full ball snooker on the red over the pocket. And he doesn't want to bring that safe red off the cushion. even if he can see it. Got very close to the pot. Very fortunate to have covered the red. Well, he's moved it, and he's got safe. He'll settle for that. That was a nice little rub on the brown. McGill may have been able to see this red without that little rub. But once again, doesn't want to move that red on the cushion. Just landing up to that red. He might just be tempted at taking this red on to the yellow pocket. It's a tough pot, but if it went in, it could win him the game. Patience. Well, he's got to try and hide that red down the table. So bring the cue ball back to where it is, or take it up to the green. And that looks pretty good. That's an excellent safety from Anthony McGill. And a good escape.
This is about to become the longest frame so far, eclipsing the 28-minute and change opening frame, which of course went Higgins' way. Anthony McGill can ill afford to lose another one in the same fashion. Needs to get a foothold here.
Yes, a little wince there from Higgins, because this red will cut to the left corner. It's dangerous. Cut back into a blind pocket. Couldn't be tempted. He caught that one well. He really did catch that one well. Well, if he's playing to hit the red direct, he's going to be sending it towards that left corner. He's looking at the potting angle. Look at that, he can only just see the red, but it may be enough to pot it. Problem is, the cue ball could be going into the other red off the cushion. So big problems here. He's overcut it, but where they've landed, he'll be happy with.
I've actually seen very little in the way of tactical snooker in this Masters so far. It's all been about the free-flowing high breaks. This is the other side of the game, and there's no better exponent of it than John Higgins.
Well, McGill not doing a bad job. Could have won the first frame. He's competing very well on the safety in this. And it's Higgins who's got the snooker again. So just trying to land up dead weight to the reds. All about speed, this. Yep, and we'll settle for that. Tap on the table for the judgment in speed there, but he could be right back where he started from. Played in behind the pink this time. And the cue ball very close to the cushion again.
Thank you.
I'm not sure how much of the red he can see. And if he could see it three-quarter ball, he could drop the cue ball in behind the green. Coming off the cushion. No, can't see enough of it. Now, where's it going to finish? Again, he'll be happy with that. So if he can leave the cue ball where the red is, he's got the snooker on one of the reds. And if that bounces, he's got the snooker on the other as well. Yep, another good safety shot from Higgins.
Foul and a miss.
Well,
John Higgins,
it
4.
was fortunate the cue ball didn't go in the pocket there.
Yeah. Okay.
Doesn't want it to bounce. Now, can he cut the red? Can he play the double? Could play the red by the green spot. All depends if this red goes.
Yeah, these scrappy marathon-style frames are great to win and horrible to lose, because whoever does come out second best will have put a lot into it for no reward. Of course, if Anthony McGill were to lose it, he'd find himself in deep trouble at 3-0 adrift.
And if this pink goes in, but it hasn't,
John Higgins, 1.
there's a lot of pressure on that shot. But now, a great chance for McGill.
One I'm sure he didn't expect to get. 16 adrift, 35 left.
1.
Doesn't want to be straight on this yellow.
5.
Looks like he can get to the green.
7.
Straighter on the green than he would have wanted.
10.
So this is the big shot coming up. He needs to be on the blue to be able to get to the pink. And that's not where he wants to be. It's the wrong side of the blue. Very difficult to get to the pink now. It's a good shot.
19.
And only needs the pink.
This is a big moment coming up as we see McGill play an excellent positional shot. In the context of this match, this pink is huge for Anthony McGill. It could be the difference between just a one-frame deficit and 3. As Higgins watches on, he missed a pink, of course. And in it goes. Well, it was a scrappy frame, a lengthy frame, a 41-minute frame, but crucially, from Anthony McGill's point of view, it's gone his way. Higgins had the chance, missed a pink he'd normally get, and he's punished. McGill halves the deficit evening, but McGill back in it.
Fourth frame. Anthony McGill to break.
So McGill breaking off in the final frame before the interval, trailing John Higgins 2-1.
He could pot it, but he couldn't get onto the black. So just played the containing safety shot. Well, that was a handy little kiss on the brown. Without the kiss, Higgins could have seen this long red to the right corner. Well, it could be a re-rack, but one of them's got to give the nod. And Higgins likes this type of game.
Yeah, it looks as though the last couple of minutes didn't actually exist from a snookering perspective, because we're going to start again. That was going nowhere fast. John Higgins, I'm sure, will be just a little irked that he couldn't have made it a 3-0 scoreline. He did have the chance, of course, missed a pink, which was far from easy, but it's the kind of pressure pink that Higgins has made a career out of potting at the back end of that very lengthy third frame. Now, of course, Anthony McGill will feel part of proceedings in his Masters debut. I feel as though he really is involved in the match now.
Yes, and he'd love to go to the interval at 2 each. So take 2.
Anthony McGill to break.
After the re-rack, 2-1 Higgins.
And another good break off, snookered, all reds. Just caught it a little thick, but Didn't push a red on. And another good safety from McGill. And as I said in the last frame, he's competed in the safety aspect of this match so far.
In fact, according to the stats, he's winning it. 89% safety success, plays 83 for Higgins.
Foul. Enemies. Anthony McGill 4. Back here.
Well, I'm not sure if Higgins can see a red full ball.
Yeah, Anthony. Thank you.
If he can see a red full ball, then it's imperative that he catches the red this time. But not like that. That was too full. He may have got away with it. Can Anthony see this red? Yes, he can. So an early chance for McGill.
One. Five. Six.
Oh dear. Well, he raises his hand. But he's freed the black with that last shot. And that's what he was intending. Trying to disturb the reds. Tough. And at that speed as well.
Anthony McGill 8.
McGill's highest break so far remains the 33 he made in the previous frame.
One.
Held for the black. So another chance for Anthony McGill.
McGill is competing very well already this evening, but the feeling is that if he's to win this match against John Higgins, he's got to score heavily from opportunities like this.
9.
Well, he could decide to go into them here. He only needs to give him a little nudge. Had he caught the red above the black half ball,
16.
he would have been on this red to the middle, one to the corner, and he'd have the reds open.
17.
Just come a little too far, this red, so playing off the other red.
23.
To the black, and he's pushed a red safe. And again, he's got the option here to go into the reds with insurance of reds out in the open.
$30. 31.
And they've opened delightfully. Has a red to the middle.
38.
Couldn't have played that any better. And as
39.
Philip was saying, he's got to win frames at one visit. Well, a great chance to do that here. And if he can win it,
Just a moment,
2
please.
each would be delighted with after being 2-0 down.
$45. 46.
John Higgins beginning to resign himself perhaps to having to share the spoils. This is the pink he missed, which had it disappeared could well have given him a 3-0 lead.
51.
Yeah, what a difference that pink could make.
52.
Pink goes to this right corner. And that's all he'd need. So we've had 2 hard-fought frames, and we've had 2 frames won at one visit. It's good snooker, this.
58.
Tough match play snooker.
59.
And there's no doubt that Anthony McGill raises his game against the very best. We referenced his victories over Selby and Murphy in consecutive World Championships. Of course, he beat Higgins in a final frame decider at the UK as
66.
well. So he knows how to beat the very best in
67.
the big matches like these. He's a patient player, he's got a good temperament.
74. 75.
75.
love to make just his 9th century of the season.
81.
That will be just the tonic as he goes off for the 15-minute interval.
82.
Well, he's left himself with an angle to get to that last red. Just dropping in behind it. And that's just about where he wants to be.
88.
This goes in, and it's a left-handed shot. So not only Ronnie O'Sullivan can do it. That was a good shot down the cushion, left-handed.
Yellow and green then for the century. Excellent pot on the red.
97.
And suddenly this match has a very different feel about it. Higgins bossing the early proceedings. That all-important third frame, which could have gone either way and ended up going Anthony McGill's way after over 41 minutes, has shifted the momentum.
104. 109. 115.
You asked for it, Philip. He's provided it.
He's delivered with a big break, a frame-winning break and a century at that. That's a tremendous response from Anthony McGill. John Higgins was threatening to take a firm grip on this match, but McGill, having lost the third...
Unforgettable, Phil Scott.
Well, we've got a
John
match
Higgins
on our
to break.
hands now here, haven't we? Average frame time of 23.5 minutes, but it's been really top-class match play snooker. We've seen some big breaks, we've seen some great tactical stuff as well, and we've seen a really impressive fight back from Anthony McGill from close to 3-0 behind. Managed to pinch that third frame and level in style with the century. But Higgins, of course, has been here, seen it all before, won the title on 2 occasions. And he'll just reset. McGill, though, will well and truly feel part of his first ever Masters experience now. Their 7th meeting in total. Higgins having won 4 of the previous 6, the last 2 emphatically. But their previous best of 11 encounter went the way of the man at the table, 6-5 at the UK.
Very difficult pot, and he hasn't got away with it. So, Higgins off with a chance, and if you can leave the cue ball low on this red, so he can open more reds up. Sullivan plays the shot so well, but that's a big bounce off the black cushion there.
Higgins is still using the traditional chalk. Of course, a lot of players have converted the new green stuff, which undoubtedly has reduced kicks and arguably the surprising bounces as well.
Nine.
That was a better shot than it looked.
Yes, but hasn't got the angle on the black to go into the reds. Maybe a red net will go to the middle.
16.
Very, very tough shot.
John Higgins, 16.
Screwing red into the middle at that speed. Softer. The pocket may have accepted the red. Caught it just a touch thick. Well, he's got to be a little bit careful here. If he sends the red down into the reds, it could hit the reds and go over that left corner pocket. Got to try and make sure of getting the cue ball tight to the cushion. Well, that was a problem, leaving a red on to this left corner. Very tough. If it should go in, it'd be on the black. And it's in. What a great shot. And he has the angle to disturb the reds. Super shot that was.
That equates to 5 out of 7 from long range for Higgins.
Yeah, disappointed he's not on the red that he played for. If it's hard enough, it may just drift in. Well, it held true, didn't it?
John Higgins, 8.
It never moved at all. Look at this again. On most club tables, that would have just drifted to the right slightly and dropped in the pocket. These superfine cloths without very little nap weight. It held true. Looks as though he can cut this red in. This is the split. Playing for the red into the left corner and just got the cover. debating whether to take this long red on. Screw to the side cushion. He'd be on the black. And just a safety.
Yeah, absolutely. So.
There is a red sticking out. At the natural angle, the cue ball's going into the other red. He's been very fortunate there. Could have left something easy on for Higgins. Looks pretty safe. Well, if you can play off the red that's nearest the black, that would develop the black. Allow it to go in that left corner pocket. Caught it a little too thick. No real damage done. Maybe a red that will cut to the left corner. With safety in mind. Kind of like the shot that Jimmy was playing in the interval. Shot to nothing. If it goes in, he can play the snooker. If it doesn't, then it's safe. Again, it wasn't far away, that. And the red that it has left There's no colour available for it. So maybe just play the safety, try and open the reds a little bit. Get the cue ball dead on the cushion behind the green. And that looks pretty good. Excellent safety from Higgins.
Okay.
Doesn't get any better than that. Great shot there from McGill. And there is a little bit of pressure on this one. Pink and the red on the left side cushion.
Foul.
Yes, and he was forced into making a thicker contact
McGill 4.
to avoid those two balls. And this is a real chance now for McGill.
One.
Well, I did say it was a good safety that McGill got. He's catching the reds much too thick. Let's give him this chance to McGill.
Three.
Oh, he's hit the wrong side of the black, and that's a let-off for Higgins. He could have just stunned him behind the black, got fairly straight on it. Wouldn't have had to do much with the black, just pot it. There's the red behind the black spot. Surprised they played to move the black. Pockets are playing relatively easy. Especially that left corner.
That's McGill 4.
But another good safety, but he will be disappointed with that. Just 8 points and a decent leave.
Foul and a miss. Anthony McGill 4.
Well, that cue ball has come down the table a little bit, tempting McGill into taking this red on. He knows if he has the ball tucked back, it's not going to be as good as this. Because Higgins would catch it thin next time round and play a good safety. Yeah, good shot. And played for the black. Now, he could have dropped him behind the black last time round. He's a little hard, is he? No, he's okay.
Yeah, sure.
Struck it very well, that. So another chance for McGill. When he broke down last time, he played another good safety. Higgins missed the ball completely this time round. And left that long red on. What a good shot it was.
9.
Well, he could have attempted to hit the edge of those reds.
16.
Have left him on the red to the right corner. He would have still been on this red. And he missed them.
17.
He's going to have to disturb them at some stage. Might just decide to play the stun run through here.
24.
Try and nudge the reds open. Yeah, played it well. Look at that. The reds nicely open. And this game is now in McGill's hands. And the fly is back.
That flyer's got more lives than a cat. I swear it's been extinguished at least 8 times in the past 3.5 days. Must have mates. Best seat in the house, I guess.
32.
It's been impressive, though, hasn't it, this from McGill? Very close to falling 3-0 behind, but I think this is why many players, many observers, among them former Masters champion Alan McManus, rate him so highly. It's his attitude. He's not cowed by playing the very best, he's inspired by it. Always looking to learn, to improve. He's got a great attitude, a great work ethic. He puts in the hours on the practice table. He's a great competitor. He might not be the best scorer or the most naturally gifted, but the attributes he has look to be standing him in very good stead for the future.
33.
Yeah, it wasn't a good positional shot from black to the reds last time round. He's had to leave himself short on this blue. He should be able to come in and out of baulk. This looks good.
38. $39.
Doesn't need that safe red near the pink.
46.
2 loose safety shots from Higgins. The last one he missed the ball completely.
47.
And Higgins has lost in the first round quite a few times.
12 to be precise. Hasn't been to the final since he won his second title 12 years ago.
52.
Ryan Day awaits the winner, of course.
53.
Yes, he's certainly a star of the future, Anthony McGill, especially for the attributes that Philip mentioned. And his fighting qualities.
$60.
could have been 3-0 down. Higgins missed that pink in the third frame. That was a major turning point for me. Higgins was well on top at the time. But missing that pink just gave McGill
61.
that little sniff. And he took it well.
Food for thought for the Wizard.
Blue ball.
Of course, no one knows better than Higgins how good McGill can be. So he won't be surprised to see this sort of tenacity from his opponent this
61.
evening. Higgins having a think about it. 49 the difference. Only 35 left, so an awful lot to do.
Yes, it needed to be tight up against the pink. You can come across the table, just land up to the red. And what's another snooker? And it's a good one. Anthony's just got to be careful of not leaving a free ball. The balls are situated nicely for snookers, and that's probably why Higgins came back to the table 49 points behind. Well, is this a free ball? Is this a free
John
ball?
Higgins 4.
A little harder than it would have been. So, chance here.
Mighty close.
The pink now in a better spot there for snookers. Yellow and blue pretty good as well. He's a little heavy. He's left the red on.
Frank conceded.
And that's enough for Higgins to nod his head at Anthony McGill and say, yeah, that's your frame. And it's 3 on the bounce from McGill. You'd have got long odds on that. Coverage gets underway from 1 o'clock. The first of our quarterfinals, played over 2 days, of course. With the semis to come on Saturday.
McGill to break.
And the best of 19 frame final on Sunday. Over 2 sessions with a first prize of £200,000. McGill, 3-2 up.
Just take your seats quickly, please. Thank you.
Talking of Masters finals, a former finalist, James Wattenaar, is celebrating his 48th birthday today. Runner-up to Hendry back in '93. He was some player, Joe. I know you knew him very well.
Yes, he certainly was. What was the score there, do you know?
9-5, I think. "25 years ago.
Incredible. Yeah, excellent pot.
One.
And fully expected to get that one. Look where the cue ball is. And the blue looks to be the ball.
Six. Seven.
Likes to play high on the black. Anthony McGill. And he can manoeuvre the cue ball wherever he wants. It is high. Very rarely
14.
leaves himself straight. And this is a good shot that he's left himself to open the reds up. Oh, but don't forget the pot. The pot was easy.
Anthony McGill,
He
14.
just took his eyes off it. And now the red that's gone over the middle pocket. I think Higgins can see it.
Well, we had a turning point in the third frame, didn't we, when Higgins missed a pink, which, had he potted it, looked likely to carry him to a 3-0 lead. Since then, McGill has won 3 on the bounce. That was a chance for 4. Can Higgins capitalise?
Well, he potted it a little thick, and that's why the cue ball caught the jaws of that yellow pocket. So he's faced with a very tough yellow to the middle here. Look at where the red went in the pocket. Far angle. A lot of pressure on this. He's missed it. There was a lot of pressure on it. And he's struggling now at the moment.
Happens to the very best, doesn't it? Even someone as successful and as experienced as Higgins, when he starts to feel the pressure a little bit, the pockets become smaller.
One.
Yes, and McGill is getting his confidence. I know he missed that last easy red, but he was thinking more about the split than the pot. I think you can sense that at the moment he's on top of Higgins. Could have played that one better. Onto that cue ball closer to this red to the middle.
8.
This is missable.
Nine.
Struck it confidently. Didn't really get into the cue ball there. Wanted to be a little straighter on this red to the
16.
left corner. Maybe able to screw off the red. Play for the black. He's playing it with top spin. No, it's just
17.
as good.
Twenty-four. 25.
Played for
32.
choice of 2 reds.
$33.
Made 122 in frame 4. 61 in frame 5.
$38.
Higgins got something to think about. It's that yellow to the middle pocket.
39.
Well, just when I was saying that, he rarely leaves himself straight on the black.
He's left himself straight on the black.
Harder to get position when it's straight. Just backwards and forwards in a straight line, but he's played that well.
46.
He's playing with real confidence now, isn't he? He was competing in the early stages. Now he looks as though he believes he can win.
47.
So this black. And that easy red over the left corner. Will keep Higgins sat in his seat again.
54. 55. $62. 63.
And this is the difference, isn't it, Joe? He's scoring now. 1-2-2, 61 in the previous frame, and now another frame-winning contribution.
Yep, he's definitely got his confidence, and, well, it was Higgins who missed the yellow to allow McGill in with this break.
70.
But he's taking his chances. He could very well get another century break here.
71. $76.
No century, but it doesn't really matter because it's a frame-winning break, and that's exactly what Anthony McGill has to make this evening to beat John Higgins. He's doing a very good job of it at the moment. 4 additional event, 12 of them to be precise.
John Higgins to break.
And he's in a bit of bother now, having lost 4 frames in a row to Anthony McGill. Moves 2 away from victory.
Yes, and it all started with that pink that he missed in frame 3. When he was playing onto the last red. Had it gone in, would have potted the red and been 3-0 up. Wow, he missed that one by a long way. And it looks like he's going to leave the red to the green pocket. Wasn't anywhere near this. The cue ball wouldn't have gone into the reds. It would have been near the pot. Very nearly missed the red. Well, it's gone in. didn't quite get into the cue ball enough.
Free.
If you look at this again, caught the pink instead of the reds.
John Higgins, free.
And the cue ball not close enough to the cushion. This time, Anthony catching the reds a little bit too thick.
Foul and a miss. Anthony McGill, 4.
Well, the last time he missed the ball, it cost him dearly. But nothing on there that I can see. So I may have the ball replaced.
Well, Higgins will be thinking he's got to win this frame, realistically, if he's to win the match. 3 down with 4 to play. With the kind of snooker we've seen this evening, that would be a tough ask even for the Wizard against an increasingly confident Anthony McGill. It's just not happening for him at the moment.
No, but what he needs to do is get away with a couple of shots like that. Because when he has made mistakes, Higgins, McGill has really punished him. But on this occasion, I don't think he's left anything. He was looking at a plant there, but very risky. He's getting the line of the safety shot. Look at that again. That's cutting off the right side of the reds, putting Higgins under pressure. He may be forced into taking a red on here, although he could come off the right side cushion and land up to the red. It's closest to the black cushion. Oh, what a great shot. And very unfortunate not to be on the black.
1.
That was a belter. And deserved better.
John Higgins 1.
Years of practice. So, on the one hand, he was a little unfortunate not being on the black from such a great shot. And then on the other hand, he was fortunate that cue ball didn't go in that pocket. Caught it too thin. And another chance for Higgins. There is a red that will go to the right corner. He can get to the pink.
One.
I think the red will pass the black. But if not, then plenty of reds that he can play for.
Seven. Eight.
Perfectly judged.
Yeah, sure.
He could have done with just coming a little further down for this red. That would have led it to the pink, to the right corner. So may have to play for the blue again here. Difficult to see if he's got the angle on this red to play for the pink. Yep, he's got the choice of playing for pink or blue.
Fourteen.
Just 29 points for John Higgins on aggregate in the last 3 frames. So important from his point of view to re-establish some scoring rhythm here, as well as stop the rot after losing 4 on the bounce.
$20. 21.
Deliberately held a spot there, so he could play onto this red to the middle.
27. $28. $33. 34.
Pink goes back onto its own spot.
40.
Could have done with just being a little higher up the table, but he should be able to play for the pink.
41.
Well, he's left himself a little short, and this was very much like the pink he missed in frame 3 into the opposite corner, and that's why he's having a little smile to himself, because he knows that that was a very important pink he missed. It was slightly harder than that. It was closer to the cushion, but very similar.
47. $48. 53.
So this red and a pink. It would be enough to leave Anthony needing snookers.
54.
Close frame ball, so this red just to make sure.
60.
Just one snooker at the moment.
$61.
This is showing character from John.
A timely return to form.
$67.
Well, the frame is safe. After a frame lasting just under 10 minutes just now for Anthony McGill with a 76, a 67 from John Higgins in a shade over 14 minutes to close the gap to 4-3. The matches we've seen so far here at the 2018 Dafabet Masters, but no less absorbing. A terrific performance from Anthony McGill from 2-0 behind to lead John Higgins 4-2. Showing his mettle to reduce the arrears with a break of 67 to just a single frame. So this is still very much up for grabs. McGill needs 2, Higgins needs 3 for the right to play Ryan Day in the quarterfinals. Just a reminder, of course, that our first last 8 encounter tomorrow afternoon, 1 o'clock, features the defending and record-breaking Masters champion Ronnie O'Sullivan, now going for an 8th title, having eclipsed Stephen Hendry's record last year up against Mark Allen. Marcel Eckhart, our
Right now,
referee.
please. Frame 8. Anthony McGill to break.
Anthony McGill breaking off with that slender 1 frame advantage at 4-3.
Yes, reds over both corners. Can't see the one over the left, and I don't think you can see the one over the right. So a little fortunate there. Can he be tempted? It's a tough pot. He's considering it, but this is tough. Could be a frame winner if it went in. Could be a frame loser if it didn't. Another good safety. And very difficult to get that cue ball back to the baulk area from there. He may be forced into taking one of these reds on, because if he lays up on the black cushion, he leaves that red behind the black spot. Oh, that's a great shot. And this time he is on the black. He got what he deserved. What a great shot from Higgins. Good kiss. And deserve it. So.
Nothing wrong with Higgins' long game tonight. 8 out of 10. That's excellent.
Well, you've got to admire him for taking those shots on.
Well, that's what the very best in the business are capable of doing, isn't it? Raising their game a notch to places that the rest can't quite reach when it really matters.
Yeah, and the thing is that, as I said before he took the shot on, there was no shot, there was no safety shot. He was forced into taking it on. McGill got too good a safety.
Yeah, sure. 17. Top. $24. Thanks. 25.
That's winning 67 in the last frame.
32.
Started this one off with 4 reds, 4 blacks.
33.
Now, he doesn't need to play the cannon, but he could play the cannon to the red above and to the left of the black. But it's a bit risky, that. Maybe we'll play for those loose ones. And the way he's played that, he's given himself choice of 3 reds.
40.
On 4 sevens, maybe relatively commonplace these days, but there's still a rarity at the Masters in its 43-year history, just 3. First, of course, one of the greatest matches ever played in this event, the semi-final between our own whirlwind Jimmy White and Kirk Stevens. Since then, Ding Junhui 11 years ago and Marco Fu 3 years ago, the only other players to have made the perfect break.
I think the red goes past the pink to the middle.
$49.
Said at the beginning of this match that Higgins has made 8 maximum breaks. He'd love to make it a 9th.
56.
Get within sight of Ronnie O'Sullivan's 13. Just potted the red a little thin, and that's why the cue ball has just travelled a little far.
7.
Still on the black, and this time he may play the cannon to that red. And he's played it well. He had to play it with a little bit of speed to make the cue ball just travel a couple of inches.
64.
And they're all there for the taking now. Wants to make sure of the frame.
$65.
134 maximum breaks in professional competition. Most recently, at last month's Scottish Open by Chow Yu Peng.
72.
Steve Davis famously made one at the Larder Classic
73.
way back in 1982. And I think he won a Larder for his trouble. I'm not sure if he ever drove it.
Well, that was frame ball. Now we can concentrate on the maximum. Just not hard enough. Wanted to be straighter
80.
on this red. So the next black is not going to be easy. Could
81.
get closer to it.
The crowd certainly know what's going on.
No.
John Higgins, 81.
Well, no maximum from John Higgins, but he's well and truly back in this match from a precarious 4-2 down. He's found his form again. Breaks of 67 and now 81 to draw level, and it's now a best of 3, 4 apiece. Already at the Masters this year, and this one living up to the billing of all the others, with John Higgins initially in control, 2-0 up, very nearly 3-0 up, then Anthony McGill pressing with 4 straight frames, only for Higgins to hit back with 2 frames once again to level at 4 each. A slight shake of the head there from the Wizard, because he's on course for a 9th career maximum break. 81 to settle for, but the crowd loving this, and now it's just a question of whether we're going all the way or whether one of these players can kill this off the next 2 frames. Tremendous mutual respect. They're good friends away from the table. They practice a lot together. They know their games
Thank you.
Inside out.
Take your seats quickly as you can, please. Frame 9.
Will Higgins,
John Higgins to break.
vastly greater experience of this big match occasion, proved to be the difference in the end. 4-all.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Yeah, McGill's turned to be frozen out a little in the last couple of frames. And with that in mind, all the more impressive to see that wonderful red disappear.
And the crowd absolutely love this one, don't they? What a great pot. Now, does he have the angle to run through? He does. He has the angle to run through off the 2 cushions. The smiling assassin. And if he can leave this cue ball short on this red, he may be able to open the reds up. He's played it short. Now he missed one a little easier than this into
8.
the opposite corner. So he'll be concentrating some more fiercely on this shot.
9.
And that's opened things up. Not quite a frame-winning shot. Well, it wasn't easy, to be fair. It's the red past the black. That's tight. There's just half a pocket there. He knows how important that could have been.
One.
Well, Kiss could have been kinder. He's on the blue, pink or black. But the next red, not straightforward. And that's why he went into them. And he has a red to the right middle. Could have been easier.
8.
But still a chance.
Nine.
Had to put everything into the pot rather than the position. No good getting good position and missing the pot. And that's what a lot of players do. Right in the middle. It needs to keep running. It needs to come a lot further.
12.
Well, this isn't straightforward either. He plays the red to the left corner. Not sure if he can get to the black. Got through the gap, though, nicely to finish on the blue.
13.
Now, if we could get to the red, let's buy the black. think he could play for that red this time round. Nicely on it. That frees the black to both pockets. Massive frame, this one, to get within one.
Top. $26.
67 should be enough to see Higgins over the winning line. And with it, his third straight frame, having lost the previous four. Still some way to go before he gets there, but he's cueing really well again.
Yeah, like that. Okay. Thank you.
This is why people love snooker so much, because you can see somebody on the floor 1 minute and the next pick themselves up and playing like God. Now the top players dig deep and find something.
34.
Still a red that will go to the left corner, but he's got to be accurate with his positional play. Well, did he? He may have played the cannon to the red. Missed it. It's not come far enough for this red. He can't pot that. Thinks that he may be able to pot it with a touch of left-hand side on the cue ball, but this is so difficult. If he was closer to it. Yeah, he turned it.
Great camera angle that, wasn't it? You can see the side being applied there. That's a hammer blow, isn't it, for Anthony McGill, because Higgins' body language smacked of end of break.
50.
Those hopes swiftly dashed. Prime position once again and looking good for 5-4.
51.
Third half century on the bounce from Higgins.
Well, this red's easy enough, but where's the next one going to come from? If he could finish top side of the blue,
59.
like so, he could play the cannon to these two reds, but he's not guaranteed to be on one.
55 the lead with the blue. Still 59 there.
Well, he's on this red to the right corner. Great
64.
rest player. And he only needs the red. A great response from Higgins after losing 4 frames in a row.
Well, that's just a lack of concentration 65. After potting frame ball.
Yes, but he would have liked to have been getting on with the next frame now, and he would have been had the black gone in. So has to wait a little longer. 2 snookers required. Can take this long red on, knowing that McGill needs 2 snookers. I'm surprised he didn't take it on, because it gives McGill a chance to bring reds off of the cushions. So just the red needed. And we should be starting another game.
1.
And a very important one it is.
Four. 4 on the frame, John Higgins.
What a match it's been, full of momentum shifts. First Higgins in charge, then McGill. But Higgins, like the champion he is, fighting back in style. Another big break of 65 this time for his 3rd in a row to move 5-4 up. Sure, it's gone. And the bigger the breaks have become, Anthony McGill has played some tremendous stuff this evening, particularly given that he lost the first 2 frames. Winning 4 on the bounce. It was looking good for the underdog at that stage on his Masters debut, lest we forget. But how John Higgins has responded. 3 frames in a row from him to put him on the cusp of the quarterfinals and a meeting with Ryan Day. John Higgins' pot success at a very healthy 93. Anthony McGill a little bit behind on 89.
Foul. Anthony McGill 7.
Well, he won't be too bothered about that. More concerned about whether he's left the red on.
Thanks. Yeah, cheers.
Looks like our second re-rack of the evening. We've had a bit of everything tonight. But once again, the players quickly agreeing that that was heading for stalemate. So why hang around?
Yeah, the players don't like to play that kind of game. This is the shot that knocked the black in. And that forced McGill just to roll into the reds. Players don't like it, the crowd don't like it. So let's have a re-rack.
Okay, thank you. Anthony McGill to break.
There's a reminder of what they're contesting this week, a superb trophy named in honour of the late Paul Hunter, one of the great Masters champions, 3 times a winner.
And this time, McGill gets the snooker. He's a little low, doesn't want to skim off them. He's okay.
Yeah, it is touching ball.
Doesn't really want to get the snooker because the reds are tightly bunched. So maybe just leave the cue ball close to the cushion and allow Higgins to see the reds. And that way he may catch them a little thick, leave one on. So clever play that from McGill. Could have done with the cue ball being closer. Now this looks good. Just drifting in behind the green. But again, it shouldn't pose a problem for Higgins just to come off this left side cushion, land up into the reds. Sorry, McGill.
Thanks.
Well, that was a risky shot. He was attempting to swerve round the blue slightly. Lots of right-hand side on the cue ball. Watch it move. See how it moved just as it got past the blue. Now this time it's McGill, who's had years of practice to get the cue ball out.
Those are the fine margins, aren't they? The way Higgins has been potting from long range. If that cue ball had disappeared, he could have been in. Could have been in to win. You never know.
He caught it too thick, so a chance for McGill. It almost deserves to be a decider, this match. They've both given everything. They've battled for the safety. Made century. Lots of big breaks. Neither player giving an inch. He's underhit that one. There was a little bit of tension there. And that's why he's so far away from this red into the right corner. Can still pot it, but much more difficult than it should have been. A switch to left-handed. Wow. Playing this left-handed. It's there, though.
The ambidextrous assassin.
And that was a brave shot to take on left-handed. Wouldn't have been surprised to see O'Sullivan playing it, but can't tell you how difficult those shots are.
Bramble.
Oh, that's a nice flick off the blue. He played for this red, but he wouldn't have been on it as nice as this without the flick.
11.
Look at this flick on the blue there.
Twelve.
And now a nice angle to stun for those two reds just above the black.
$90. $20.
And again, leaving himself a nice angle on the black to stun back for this red. And if you can leave an angle on the red to bring more reds into play, let's see if he leaves it short. He has. And he deliberately left it short like that so he could open reds up.
27.
68 the target to take us to a decider.
$28.
Well, just a touch harder would have been more beneficial. So, is it a switch to left-handed again? It is. He's got some bottle, this kid. This is tough. Get the rest out. Yeah. Don't blame him.
Well, particularly given that one false move could be his last shot of the tournament.
Yeah, nicely played. Just a little hard for the red above the black.
35.
Knew he was always going to be on this red to the middle. No, he didn't play that well.
36.
It was so easy to get the right side of the blue there. The blue not on its spot. It was so easy to get the right side of the blue. Just a touch of right-hand side on the cue ball. I'd be disappointed with that. Partly because he's not getting closer to the reds. Well, can he see the red?
$41.
Well, I'm not sure if he can. May have to play it with a touch of right-hand side, but like John Higgins did in the last frame. No, couldn't get enough side on it.
Yeah, that was a
McGill,
tougher pot,
41.
wasn't it, than the one Higgins was faced with.
Yeah, that poor positional shot from red to blue left him with this difficult pot. But didn't play the blue well either, to leave himself nearly snookered on that red. Good length. And this is dangerous. If he skims off the reds, he could send a red towards that right corner. He'll be happy with that. Good shot. Lots of left-hand side on the cue ball to avoid colliding with that red. Close to the right side cushion. The red that's closest to the right corner. Stopping McGill going for the red just above the black into the left corner. Could have gone for that. That red not being there.
Three hours and counting. Still the owner of the final quarter-final spot here at the Masters unknown.
Well, there's a chance here, but it's such a difficult shot. But he could play the cue ball back into the baulk area. He'd be on the yellow. Oh, what a shot. But where's that cue ball going to finish?
One.
Now, if that yellow is off the cushion, he can pot it and come back down for the reds.
Quite excellent, John Higgins, this evening with his long pots. 9 out of 11 now.
Well, that really was a superb shot again.
Maybe that'll be the difference at the end of the evening.
Free.
And I think that's a good kiss. I think the black will pass the red into that left corner. So this is a great chance.
Four.
He is going to need that safe red on the left side cushion.
That was a very untimely sneeze.
11. Twelve.
Anthony McGill, a careless positional shot. Failed to get the right side of the blue, which effectively caused him to break down.
19.
And now Higgins has his chance for the counter-attack.
20. Seven.
Well, that's pretty good, isn't it? 93%.
28.
Still a lot of pressure out there, though. No one is immune, not even John Higgins. Still has to do the business here. Love to get over the line with a frame to spare.
It's always the case, isn't it? Nothing's easy. That's that red on the side cushion. And he's already got that in his mind.
35. 36.
I think the red by the pink will go into the left corner. Well, it mustn't have gone. He played the cannon, tried to get the cannon half ball, which would have left him an easy pot, but caught it 3/4 ball. So, still plenty of snooker left in this frame. This is a real thin one. He's got it though.
That was a fantastic shot from Higgins. Blind pocket, ultra thin, very missable. Stroked it in, right in the heart of the pocket.
And the crowd loved it. Another very good positional shot from Higgins.
49.
So it's going to come down to that red on the side cushion. Oh, he's missed it. And the cue ball
50.
is not in a good spot at all. Well, maybe time to put a ball safe. He's 9 points in front. So he could put the blue safe.
Blue ball. John Higgins.
Gives him some
50.
insurance. He doesn't need the blue. If Higgins caught the red with a large colour, well, any colour.
That was Higgins' fourth consecutive break of 50 or more. This time not decisive. 35 remaining, 9 in it. McGill still with every chance.
But just a little harder with the blue close to the cushion. And he's got a chance, Higgins. Any colour off the red. Doesn't want to miss it thin and bring the blue into play. And there's the long pot success. He's been excellent this evening. Right in the middle. He could do with a kiss now.
What an irony, having pushed the blue safe for insurance, he now gets a very favourable kiss on it, which could take him to the winning post. Well, he's had his
6.
Sorry, just yellow, green and brown. What a great match this has been.
Yet another one here, Joe. They've all been great, haven't they?
8.
Most of them have been close, and the one that wasn't was a masterclass from the Rocket.
11.
He's had his share of disappointments here at the Masters as Anthony McGill resigns himself to his fate. But he's also had a couple of big triumphs. And now
15.
he's over the winning line. It has been a fabulous match, a real seesaw battle. Higgins in charge early. McGill hit back superbly with 4 straight frames of his own. And Higgins has
20.
returned the compliment to book his place in the quarterfinals. The crowd yet again here, royally entertained at Ali Pali.
26.
Terrific match between two very good friends. Anthony McGill